Hasbro has made the definitive sculpts of a great many Star Wars figures, but one character who I still feel doesn't have a definitive figure is C-3PO. Today, I'm going to explore an idea for taking one of these C-3POs behind me and making the next best thing, a custom perfect C-3PO. Let's see how we do it. On this week's episode of
No skill customs. No skill customs.
The perfect C-3PO has to be the best balance of the following four qualities: sculpt, posability, color, and finish. And in my mind, they just haven't gotten there yet. While the Vintage Collection and Disney Build-A-Droid version of C-3PO have great posability, their shine just isn't quite right. It feels too plasticky and not metal enough. The Revenge of the Sith C-3PO and the 30th Anniversary Collection C-3PO each have limited articulation because they're vac metallized, and on top of that, they're just too shiny. The vac metal procedure doesn't create quite the right sheen. And so while those sculpts were improved with the 2006 and 2010 C-3PO came with the Ewok ceremonial chair, has improved the articulation, but he's also too shiny, almost more like a mirror. Really an appearance that C-3PO only has in the Yavin celebration scene at the end of A New Hope. Now, if you go back to the beginning of the modern era, well, okay, not all the way back to the beginning. We're going to forget the 96, 97 C-3PO. But if you look at the purchase of the droid C-3PO, the flashback photo thing, and the freeze frame take apart C-3PO, they've done painting over the vac metal finish to really make it feel like C-3PO's true finish. But these figures lack articulation, and the arms are maybe too outspread, and the heads are not quite right. So they're not quite perfect either. Now, if you look at these images of C-3PO, these film stills, you'll see that he is shiny and metal looking, but except for this image right here where he's in the Yavin ceremony, never is he as reflective as, say, a mirror. And yes, I am filming a sheet of paper with a bunch of printouts on it. But anyways, so my solution was, what if, like the Power of the Force 2 purchase of the droid C-3PO, the flashback C-3PO, and the freeze frame C-3PO, what if something was done to one of the vac metallized C-3POs to dull that finish? And what I chose to do was take the best of the vac metal figures, which in my opinion is this Ewok Celebration one, and try actually just painting gold paint on top of C-3PO. And so I have a whole bunch of different gold paints so you can judge which one you like the best. Because somehow I amassed about 20 of this figure without ever really trying. And, well, okay, I didn't try it 20 times, but I got at least 6 different things to show you that you can do very easily on your own, because this is, after all, no skill customs. Now, this C-3PO has been released many times over the years, and the finish on him varies dramatically. Like this practically almost silver C-3PO that almost looks more like TC-14 that came with the Resurgence of the Jedi, and this one that looks very much like a yellowish gold. Now, all the customs I'm about to show you, well, being easy, of course, are also all done with the silver C-3PO. I thought that since his color was so far off, I would do that to this one and save my yellowy gold C-3POs for my Yavin scene, because he's actually pretty good already for that. Here we have the results of painting the C-3PO with various different gold paints. I'll go over which paints I used in case you're interested. My personal favorites are at the end here, and we'll get to those last. First up, Saks True Flow acrylic paint was used for this C-3PO on the left. Next in line was made using classic gold Craftsmart paint. Next after that was made using Color Traditions premium metallic paint. After that, Utrecht gold paint for this one right here. And this can be purchased through a Blick catalog or online. The next one is actually missing. I think I accidentally threw out the paint when I was done because it was all out. And that was Craftsmart Antique Gold paint. Next one after that, Delta Ceramcoat Gleams 14 karat gold paint. And then we have this one right here, which was created using Plastic Coat Fast Dry Enamel. The problem with this is it's not water based, but it has a pretty nice finish. And at the end, we have one using Craft Smart Gold, and the last one made using Aleene's Gold Premium Paint. Here, just for comparison's sake, I have the painted C-3PO in the center against the more silvery Resurgence of the Jedi Battle Pack C-3PO on the left, and on your right you can see the Ewok Throne version from the Saga line. You can see the painted one still is very shiny and looks very metallic, but isn't so reflective as to look like a mirror. And if you've ever watched any of the documentaries about the making of the movie, it was quite purposeful that C-3PO isn't as reflective as a mirror. They were concerned about the camera crew being reflected in his body and being a distraction during the movie, so they would actually take the gold metal surface of the costume and smear it with Vaseline and other materials to kind of take away that reflection. And I think that by painting this vac metallized Ewok Throne version of C-3PO, you get a pretty accurate effect. Next, I'm going to show you how to go about doing this on your own. The C-3PO example you just saw that was already painted was painted using this Craft Smart Gold paint. It's actually a very affordable paint that I found at Michael's. I'm not sure if it's available at lots of different stores or if it was actually kind of a Michael's exclusive sort of thing. But what you do is you shake up that bottle of paint, and once you've done that, you end up with a lot of paint in the bottom of the lid. And I kind of just use the lid as my own little palette here. And when you're painting, you literally just cover the figure. Now with C-3PO, this is why I consider this a no-skill customs. Yes, you're painting. Yes, there's a couple places you have to avoid, but it's very easy. Because he's got such raised ridges around his eyes, it's very easy to just avoid them, but get those ridges nicely painted in. Okay, you also have to avoid the mouth a little bit, but really just a straight stroke of the paint above, below, and on either side, and you've done that. Now at first I gotta say I was a little nervous doing this. It looked kind of streaky, but if you just kind of stick with it, just kind of brush over them once more, and you just gotta trust it that it'll look good. Although, however, if you're not happy with the final product, I am not at all responsible, and I will not send you one of my many extra C-3POs. Sorry. I know that seems mean. So you keep on painting. The only other things you have to avoid are the wires, the wiry area on his stomach, and then he's got some black paint on the pads of his hands. But I'll be honest, if you accidentally paint over the black paint, nobody will notice. The chest is the biggest open area that you're going to have to paint. So I kind of go over it a couple times, maybe even a couple different directions, just to make sure it's not being too streaky there. If you can't find any of the many paints that I have used in my little demonstration, and you're just kind of shopping through a craft store near you for some gold paint, what I found works best is gold that leans maybe a little bit more towards brown. Okay, if you look at the selection of gold paints at most places, some of them lean very heavily towards being yellow, and some of them lean more heavily towards being brown. And I think personally the brownish golds work best. Another tip for while you're painting is, if you've never noticed this before, C-3PO has a silver leg. Actually, just the lower part of his right leg is silver. And what I do, for two reasons, is I hold on to that silver leg. One, because I'm not painting there, I won't get paint all over my fingers by holding it. And number two, it kind of serves as a reminder not to paint there. Once you finish painting C-3PO, you can just leave him to rest on his hands and toes there. That little corner right there by his elbow kind of bugs me, that it's shiny gold and makes it look like it's part of him, when really it's supposed to be open there. I thought long and hard about dremeling that space out or using an X-Acto knife, but I think you're far more likely to cut yourself or break the toy than end up with a successful little custom there. So I would just simply paint that area black. And I know this is a little more skilled than you might be used to on no skill custom. Once you have the black paint on your brush, you just kind of let your brush slide into the corner and flip it around and let it slide into the other corner, and then the last corner of that little triangle. And there you have it. Let me know how it works for you in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel so you can see all sorts of fun custom videos. All our videos, just to remind you, are appropriate for kids. We never swear or have any inappropriate language in our videos, so that you can enjoy your love of collecting and customizing and just action figures in general with your kids. See you next time.